Hello and welcome! Today we're going to continue on talking about another Pixar short with GERI'S game. GERI'S game was the first short they made after Toy Story. Before we had our original shorts that we talked about, and then we have GERI'S game as a continuation. And by this point, Pixar wanted to make sure that they stayed focused on their short films that they started with, but also continue on with their feature-length films. And it was a really cool concept that they have working with each other. And they started this trend where we have a short film always right before a theatrical release of their feature-length film, and it's a really cool way to showcase amazing artwork, up-and-coming directors, and get a lot of new artistry out there while still showing their latest successful film franchise. And because we have about 20 or so Pixar films, at this point we're not going to be able to talk about every single Pixar short and film, but I wanted to make sure I showcased the originals that they came out with before Toy Story, and this one as well, because this was the first one they did with a feature-length film. So GERI'S game was released before A Bug's Life. So GERI'S film accompanied A Bug's Life, which is our next film we're going to be talking about. And from this point, there are too many shorts to mention, but I think what I'll do is I'll just mention what the short is that came with the movie, compared to actually talking about every single short and then talking about the movie. That way we're still showing a little bit of recognition to the artistry, but we still keep within a month's range. And I still have a couple of shorts that I do want to talk about that are some of my personal favorites that stood out to me within the last couple of years. So we're still going to get a couple of shorts sprinkled within as we continue on forward, but from this point on we're going to be focusing more on feature-length films. But we are going to be talking about GERI'S game, which is the short today. This was the first short that came out from Nick Nack, which was 10 years ago, and you could see so much improvement within the animation. This one was also directed by Jane Pinkava. I'm probably butchering that, I'm sorry, but this was the first director that wasn't from the original team with John Lasseter, Pete Doctor, etc., those amazing humans. And it was cool to see that now we are getting a lot more different ideas and different properties because we're getting these new people that are up and coming, and it's a really cool way to share the wealth that they created, and I really love that concept of it. This one is about an older man who plays a game of chess. He's the only one in the park, and he just decides to play chess against himself. And it's just a very simple concept that's a lot of fun to watch. And they have a lot of creativity making this. It's only a couple of minutes long, but it did take them a year and a half to make. But you can see how much artistry went through with this. And it's just a lot of fun. So it's really simple, but I wanted to highlight more of the history about this and feature this because of how great it is before we continue onward. So it's short, but it is a short film. And tomorrow we're going to be going and talking about A Bug's Life, which was the second of our Pixar feature-length films that we're going to be talking about. So stay tuned, and as always, I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you real soon.